Welcome back to the Life of a Fit Pro. I'm your Fit Pro, Andra Anderson, and let's dive in. All right, so we're here with the very first episode of 2026, which is so real to say. That means we are 26 years away from 2000, and we are closer to 2050 than we are to 2000. Let that sink in for a moment, because that's crazy. That's crazy. That also means that we are entering year 17 of Fit with Andra, technically. So I started teaching in 2009, the summer of 2009. I got certified on May 2nd, 2009, and Fit with Andra was born later. I was a Fit Pro teaching one modality, Zumba, for years and years, every single day for the longest time. And I actually don't know when FWA was officially born. I need to go back and look at that. It wasn't too much longer after, maybe it was like 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. So not too far after, but if we're being honest, I feel like I didn't really find success until like 2020 or 2021. And that was just a few years ago, not too far away from now, more than 10 years after becoming a fitness professional, which is crazy, crazy. We'll talk all about it. But with this being the first episode of 2026, I want to share a few things. I have decided to get back to my roots, and by that I mean blogging. I know, so 2009 of me, so 2010 of me. What year is it? Yes, I have reignited my Tumblr account. Yes, Tumblr, stay with me. And it's going to be kind of a companion to this podcast. So you might see some of the things featured on the Tumblr, on the blog, expanded upon here, and vice versa. My intention, and I'm throwing it out there and I'm asking you to help me be accountable to this, is to post on that Tumblr every single day. And the idea is it's the secret life of a fitness professional. So all of the ins and outs, the behind the scenes, the things that you might not see on the surface, the genuine, authentic life of a fitness professional. So the good, the bad, the ugly, the real good, the real ugly, all of it, all the things. We've gotten into a lot of that on the podcast as well. My nose is just like mysteriously running. I love the winter. So I thought one of the posts, so I've already written posts. I started on January 1st, like a good millennial. Rebirth, fresh, new year. One of the posts that I recently wrote was about prep for class. So I want to expand on that in our podcast today. So here we go, life of a fitness professional, behind the scenes, getting ready for class. Because here's the thing, you might come to a class, but that actual class, that's like the last 10% of the preparation of the class. The actual class, 90% of the work has been done before it, which is crazy to think about. And I would have had no idea before getting into being a fitness professional. But what do I mean? So I always do 3 things before class. And I wrote about this in my blog a little longer, but I'll just highlight them here. I create a vibe. That took me a while to figure out what a Fit with Andra FWA vibe is all about. It's going to be different for everybody. And my vibe is the product of all of the other vibes I've ever experienced, put together, massaged around, wrapped around, shaken around a little bit to produce the FWA vibe. My vibe is friendly, community heavy, doesn't take ourselves too seriously, works hard, finds the challenge, but has fun. A mixture of all of those things kind of put together. That is the vibe that I work endlessly and tirelessly to create. It didn't just happen. I worked to put it there. But the people that come to my classes help to keep that vibe alive and help me fine tune the vibe as we go along. So how do I do that? I'll look at who has signed up for class, which is why it's so important that you sign up for class so that I can create the best vibe. Honestly, if you've ever been to a class with me and the vibes felt off, it's because I didn't know who was coming and I just sort of threw something out there. It's gotten better. I genuinely don't feel like I've had a quote bad class in a long time, but oh, I've had my fair share. So we will dive into that on this podcast. Not today, in a future podcast. I've had my fair share of those not so great classes. And I'm delighted that that really doesn't happen a lot anymore. And it is, I think it is a result of almost 20 years in the profession, but trial and error, a lot of that too. And confidence in coming into your own. But I'll create the vibe based on who is in class, who's planning to come to class, and all of the things that I know about them. What do they like? What don't they like? What challenges them? What might be happening outside of class? There are things that, as a fitness professional, y'all tell me all this stuff. Keep doing it. I love it. I love being the keeper of all of your things. It helps. It helps in creating the best possible class for you. I'll look at what did we do last time if it's the same modality. So if I'm doing a boot camp class on a Friday and one on a Saturday, we don't do the same muscle groups. We'll usually do like a leg day and an upper body day. So if anybody's coming to both of them, they're getting a nice complete workout and not over engaging those different muscle groups. The vibe also includes music. I am a pro music professional. I don't teach anything without music. I love it. The beat, the rhythm, that helps to create the vibe as well. And I have been on a mid to late 90s kick, which has been super fun to kind of dive through because that was 30 years ago. So that's fun. I also feel like I am rediscovering music that was so important to me in middle school and high school. And I like to mix it with a little bit of what is happening in the world today. What are current pop culture-y song situations? Also, probably for the last 2 years, I haven't taught a class yet without Taylor Swift in it. It just happens. She got an era that fits every vibe. She really does. So I love, bless. That's us. That's our vibe. So I'll try to create movements that are challenging but fun, play to my clients' strengths and things that they want to work on. And the music really helps to pull all of that together. I'm also a big fan of teaching on the beat and teaching on the rhythm. Even if it's not a choreographed class, there is a rhythm to it. And many of my clients say that they have no coordination or they want to build their coordination. So I'm like secretly doing that with the music that I select. Sneaky, sneaky. That's what we are. We are fitness professionals are sneaky AF. We are. That's like one step. I will do a little mini workout before every single class. So if you've ever come to a class and the doors are shut, it's because I'm doing my thing. And it really helps get me into the mindset of the class. I don't ever give my clients things that I have not tried. Am I amazing at every move? Absolutely not, but I'll try them just to see how it feels on the body. And that helps me to instruct other people. You also help me if you're coming to my class. I will watch how people respond to movements, how they might make tiny adjustments, and I will store that for later usage. I love it. That's why I'm always watching, videoing, looking. I'll correct, but I like to see what you naturally do with your bodies when you come to my class because that really provides the feedback for me to make the next class even better. So if I'm teaching a boot camp class, I will do 1 to 2 full rounds of that class so that I can understand, okay, is this the right order of things to do? Because we'll do stations. Is this the right mixture? Am I hitting all 3 planes of movement? Am I hitting the standard 5 movements, squat, lunge, hinge, push, pull? If I can get a walk in there, that's even like bonus better. I'll do all of those things to kind of figure out, is this going to be a solid class? Because that's the standard at FWA. The basic standard is having that solid fitness routine. And I do like to change it up and throw in kind of fun moves and things like that. But For the most part, we're doing those 5 movements every class, and you will see repeat moves in my classes because that's how you get better at them, is by continuing to do them. And part of the vibe and part of what I do to prep for class is come up with something special. So we either do a group challenge, or we'll do a speed round, or some kind of special element that makes it uniquely an FWA class, which I love. And I think my clients like it. They keep coming back, so I think they like it. And then before class, I also create some kind of content because, as we know, we live in this very social world. Getting yourself out there is important. That brings people, word of mouth is still the biggest thing that brings people to my classes, but you're creating a vibe online as well. So something that when people aren't coming to your classes, they still feel like they're connected to it. I've had people comment who've never come to my classes, like, I feel like I know what your classes are like because of what you post, which is, that's like the best thing you could say. So I'll create some kind of content. Maybe it's a photo, maybe it is movement videos, maybe it's just a quick little video that I can use on an Instagram story, something. I try to do something with every class because I'm wearing a different outfit. There's a different vibe. There's a different like scenery, different season. I'm always creating content. One of my goals for 2026 is like figuring out a better way to organize that content because we've got a lot of content. I try to use it within that next week, but sometimes I forget about it and it goes into the abyss of content. But if I get myself in the habit of creating it as I'm going, it just ends up being so much better. I'll have something that I can pull to promote classes or to, I don't know, keep the vibe going on social media. So I try to create content. That's like, we haven't even started the class yet, and I'm doing all of those things, right? And I'm at the point now where I can pretty quickly create choreography for a class, create a structure for a class. I can do it pretty quickly, but I write it down. I have everything in my notes app on my iPad or my phone. The notes app is like my best friend. I put everything there so that I'm not doing the exact same thing every time. I'm doing a little bit of a mix up, and it helps to keep me and my creative juices flowing as well. But yeah, we haven't even started the class yet. And that's all of the stuff that happens. This is why like fitness instructors need to be paid more. This is one of the reasons why I probably will never work for a gym again. I know never say never, different seasons of life. I would consider it if it was the right environment, but I haven't found it yet. But one of the reasons that I don't want to work for a gym is because for all of that, they don't pay you for that part. They pay you for the time that you are in front of their clients. Their clients, you notice I said, not yours. They're not your clients. They are that place's clients. They'll pay you like $20 for all of that. No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. That's just before the class gets started. So fitness professionals do a lot. Instructors show up and teach a class, and they might regurgitate something that they've seen, which is totally fine. I did that for a lot of years. That's how I got my start until I knew better. You do what you can until you know better. And now I create all my own things. I do still teach one pre-choreographed workout, and that's high fitness, and you can't take that one away from me. That is mine. That is ours. That is ours. But they don't dictate what songs you use, just sort of like the layout of the songs, like you pick from different categories. So they are uniquely ours. And we almost always do a reel in those classes, which is so much fun. But yeah, that's all the prep before the class even like we haven't even welcomed our first guest in at this point. We have just set the foundation for a class. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hug an instructor next time you see them. Or maybe don't, they're probably sweaty. But that is behind the scenes, like that is the work that goes into it. And I do that just about every class. If I don't, I feel off. I like to have the preparation time. It has been difficult, not recently, but in the past, like I teach, one of the locations that I teach, I'm not the only person that uses that space. So sometimes we are getting in like 5 minutes after they are, and I don't have time to do all of that prep and not feel rushed. I feel rushed. So I don't like that. I I feel like I've communicated this and it hasn't happened. We have at least a 15, sometimes 30-minute buffer time in between classes at that location. So it has gotten better, but this just helps get me into the right, like, mental state, the right format to teach and offer the best. Because if I'm prepared like that, the class is going to go so much better, way more smoothly. People are going to get a lot more out of it because at the end of the day, it's for your people, it's not for you. But you do need to do that work to get it to that place that people walk away feeling like they got something good out of it and they continue to come back and get the benefits and bring their friends and all of those good things. Yeah, that's behind the scenes of prepping for a class. And we haven't even started the class yet at this point. I'm gonna end there. That feels like a good place to end for today. I have classes to prepare for. I've actually already, before this, I sat down and prepped a couple of potential workout classes. I'll do that. I'll kind of create like a template and go off of those things because it just makes it easier for me. And hopefully once people sign up, I can see if it will work or if it won't work and kind of adjust it from there. But yeah, that's behind the scenes. Thank you for listening, for getting this far. And I would love to know what kinds of things you want to hear or learn about from the perspective of a fitness professional. I have a lot more ideas of things that I want to write about and post about, and I can't wait to share with you. But feel free to comment below. Please make sure you are liking, subscribing, doing all of the good things that helps me understand what kind of content you like and what kinds of things to talk about. But honestly, like, I could talk about this stuff forever. So many different topics in the world of being a fitness professional that I'd be happy to chat about, and I will. So make sure you check out The Secret Life of a Fit Professional on Tumblr, my blog. Come to a class. I'd love to see you. And now you know what goes into the behind the scenes, the prep for that class. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.